So people explained that, look, you see the streets are very narrow. How will we keep cart here? So they are lying outside. Then kids asked, but that means sometime they might be lost or damaged. Of course, sometimes they are lost, sometimes they are damaged. They came back, made a presentation. These kids of class 4, 5, 6, 7. They said, why can't the cart be folding? Why can't you fold the cart so that it can be parked in the house? Nobody for the last 65 years thought of a folding cart. So we have a summer school of technology students. They fabricated it. 30th November, Chief Minister of Gujarat, Governor, Honorable President were there at our campus, IIM campus, to give awards for Ignite last year. And we kept this cart also in a corner. Chief Minister said, this is very good. This can be very useful for urban poor. I'm going to take it up in our state government's plan. Now imagine, children identified a problem that we ignored. They identified a solution. The college students fabricated it. The Chief Minister picked it up. The whole journey could happen within few months from an idea, unmet social need, to a product which got picked up in public policy. This is the power. This is the power. One girl got award recently on 14th November, again at Rashtrapati Bhavan, from Ministry of Women and Child Welfare, Menka's ministry. She liked this idea very much. On innovations. Last year she wrote about it. This idea was, many children, when they take food, they don't wash hands before taking food. So why don't you print on the lunch box, every single lunch box, wash your hand before you eat. Inside you print, wash your hand after you eat. 60% diseases in our country are waterborne because of the impurities in our nails which get transferred and other reasons. Imagine if a public order is issued that every manufacturer of lunch box will have to print this as a statutory advice to the children, how much of sanitation and how much of disease load can be reduced. A child in Nizamuddin area from slum, Shireen, can influence public policy of 1.2 billion people of this country. This is the power that ideas have. So let me close by saying that Honeybee Network is very keen that we have a very productive exchange, very productive collaboration between corporations and communities at all levels, in all sectors, in all verticals. There are a large number of people. When I came, young people were sitting here. I'm sure they must have shared a lot of good ideas. They all need space for experimentation and replication of their ideas. Sure, they could be, as I was hearing, they might have brought about some change in the society that they have worked with. My only concern is that we should not take too long to spread a good idea, and we should not insist that merit of an idea will be only selected on the basis of its replicability. I'm talking in a paradoxical language. First, I said, don't hesitate in replicating good ideas. Second, I'm saying, don't evaluate an idea only on its basis of being replicable. The paradoxical reason is there are a lot of niches. There's a long tail of innovation, which means a lot of innovations will diffuse widely, but many will not. Dhimaji, where we had a Shodh Yatra, every 6 months we walk. I walked 3 times, actually. There's a course also at IIM on Shodh Yatra. So 3 times we walk from village to village, live there, share what innovations we have, learn from what they have. In Dhimaji, we were walking in Assam. Dhimaji is the place where ULFA was born, one of the militant organizations of our country. The water has very high iron content. The conventional filters will not work. No corporation will manufacture water filters only for about 10,000, 20,000 pieces market. So if market is restricted, if problem affects fewer number of people, then it is not interesting for corporations. So then we should not manufacture that. So people of ULFA, people of Dhimaji should remain unserviced. They should take highly contaminated water. And if we develop an innovative solution, then it will not sell too many pieces. It will sell only to people who are affected by this problem. Now, there are many such problems all over the country which need niche-specific solution. If we don't solve those problems, because their market is small, then these people get alienated. They think that their problems don't matter to the country. When they get alienated, they also become angry. When they become angry, sometimes they become violent. And the peace and order is lost. So please appreciate, we spend 30,000 crores to fight our own young people in this country, in various regions where our market and our civil society and our public systems have not reached. That money can be put to better use. And you can show the way by solving problems, the unmet social needs. So let me conclude by pleading with all of you that if we create innovation clubs which do 4 things: search innovation, spread innovation, celebrate innovation, invite innovators to your community meetings, invite to your corporate meetings, invite to your board meetings, invite them to your classroom, wherever, whichever area you work, invite a solver who has solved a problem frugally and creatively, an idea that didn't occur to any one of us here. And 4th, sense the unmet needs. For each of the 650,000 villages, for each of the urban slum, we need to map the unmet social needs. It is possible to do it. And then find a systematic way of solving those problems. And very soon, India will become not only a society which is inclusive, but also the largest provider in the world of open source content. And that's what our aspiration should be. We should not just think of solving our problem. We should be able to think of putting solutions in open source for a large number of people in other countries to use. That is the real inclusive world and inclusive society. Thank you so much. Do we have some time? Yes, please.
I've also innovated a few things and encouraged some innovation. One of the very common problems that is found is कि अपने अंदर में एक हीन भावना बन गई है. तो जब बात करते हैं तो पहली बात लोग पूछते हैं कि ये कहाँ से है, अमेरिका से है, यूके से है. अगर वो बात होती है तो वो बोलते हैं हाँ ठीक है कुछ होगा. So I want to ask you what is your take on how to overcome this, which I think is a stumbling block. The other is language, because most of our अपनी जो बातचीत होती है वो अंग्रेजी में ही होती है. जो आदमी अंग्रेजी नहीं जानता है वो सामने अपनी चीज़ बोलने को ही नहीं आता.
When we started Honeybee Network, we decided 3 principles. 1, cross-pollination. We should share ideas of one region, one people, one community with another. This can only take place in local languages. So Honeybee newsletter comes in English, Tamil, Odia, Telugu, Malayalam, Gujarati, Hindi. So language point, you are absolutely on the spot, that unless we use local languages, there is no cross-pollination. Second, we decided that the creative people should not remain anonymous. We should give them voice, visibility, and velocity. Voice, visibility, and velocity. So that link between formal and informal science and technology and other institutions will help add value. Both sides will learn from each other. So whatever we do with those ideas, we must share back with the people. And third, if we add any value and generate some returns, consultancy, honorarium, even per diem, you go abroad, you get some per diem. You go on to talk about their innovations, you get some money. A reasonable share of that money must go back to those people whose income, whose ideas made that money possible. So be it a commercial return, royalty on a product, be it a personal income, anything which has accrued on account of using or building upon the knowledge that people have provided must go back to them. These are the 3 simple principles. 28 years ago, we started. And I must say that anybody who volunteers for Honeybee Network or links with it will never have the problem that you mentioned. Because there is so much that we have learned from people that there is no reason why there should be any lack of self-confidence. Of course, we have not succeeded as much in sharing that. And thanks to Amit that this platform has emerged, which will hopefully help us in disseminating. I just gave a card. Can you just show that card? No, the card that I gave you. I want to show you a card which I have brought with me. And I gave Now this card has 4 GB data. And I will give it to Amit also just now. He can copy it, no property right. You can share with anybody. 4 GB data on hundreds of innovations. All here. Right? It's all yours. So please share with everybody, make copies of this, share with everybody. This is This has all the back issues of Honeybee newsletter and many other countries. Yes, please.
So, where I come from, there's this phrase called motherhood and apple pie. And I would suggest ideas are like motherhood and apple pie. But everybody in this room has a responsibility somewhere in their work to realize that ideas aren't really worth that much. When you talk about what corporations should do, what about the fact that there's a massive, massive global ideas evaluation ecosystem? And there's a fairly massive social ideas evaluation system. There's over 3,000 Ashoka Fellows that have been chosen. There's hundreds of Schwab entrepreneurs. There's hundreds of Sandkalp entrepreneurs. All of these players went way beyond the idea to create something that looked like it might be sustainable and looked like it might be scalable. And then they were chosen, and then they were given support. And yet, today, we do not have a single continentally scaled social enterprise anywhere in the world. Wouldn't it make more sense for corporations to focus on solving that problem, taking the players who've already been through the evaluation processes from that whole ecosystem, who've scaled to a certain point but could go continental or could go global? Isn't that a better place for corporations?
Sorry, I will have to disagree with you. You know why corporations come to IIMA? Because there's no risk involved. They get best of the students in the country, taught by best of the professors, and we put platinum on the gold, right? Platinum polish on the gold. They're already golden when they come. And obviously, there's no risk involved in this. David, what you're suggesting is there is no risk approach. You're telling the corporates to work with already established names. No, I don't want that. I just don't want that. That is something.
That's not at all what I'm suggesting.
Please, let me put it this way. One of the problems in our ecosystem, I would say, I don't want to comment on Ashoka, I don't want to comment on anybody else. One of the problems in our ecosystem in our country is we are too much obsessed with our own ideas and take very little pride in helping somebody else's idea diffuse. There's a diffidence in acknowledging that, look, not all good ideas will come to me. So when Shalini, class 8th, from Patna, sent 2 lines to us, her grandfather uses a walker. You have seen the walker? And with walker, she can't climb these stairs, because they don't have the adjustable legs. A problem which is universally applicable. The walker in US don't have adjustable legs, walker in Europe don't have adjustable legs, walker in India don't have adjustable legs. So our team in Fab Lab, in NIF, made an adjustable leg walker in 1,500 rupees. 1,500 rupees. Now with this walker, when you climb, the front legs become shorter. When you come down, the front legs become taller. Very simple. This was licensed on non-exclusive basis to one of the company. She got few lakh rupees as license fee. One of the youngest entrepreneur of our country. She gets royalty of 100 rupees per walker. And now we are trying to talk to IIM, which is a public sector assistive technology company in Kanpur, so that it can go into larger scale. And the walker will diffuse. It required a company. It required a large corporation. It requires public policy. UNICEF found that it could be very useful for their global refugee programs and other programs. So they invited it at Copenhagen, where they have the largest procurement division of theirs for various technologies worldwide. So there is a need for scaling up, sure. Small companies are already realizing it. Large companies are not realizing it. And I would strongly advise, invest in untested ideas. Invest in people who are not known. Known people will get enough support. They will get support from foundations. They will get support from other companies. Please, if you didn't care, if my visit here is of no consequence, if we only do what I do in my professional job as teacher of putting platinum on gold. I think my value here is if I can draw your attention to what less known, but much more creative people at the grassroots level, among the children, among the farmers, among the artisans, among the students, so that their ideas get traction. And that will only happen when you will take risk, when you will invest in people and invest in ideas that have not yet been proved.